We're going to start with transfer speculation, though. On the back page of the Daily Mirror, it says, in for the kill. You can see it there, KYL, as in kill. They suggest that Manchester United will step up their efforts to sign £150 million rated Kylian Mbappe from Paris Saint-Germain. OK, Charlotte, right? This story has come from, Cristiano Ronaldo being linked to Inter Miami. But is Manchester United's interest in Mbappe long-standing?
I think if you look at most teams across the world, he's one of the most prolific goal scorers. He's such a young talent. I think loads of teams in the world would want him within their team. But I think if you look at the logistics of it, I know that he's on high wages. The fee that he would command, Manchester United are probably one of the few teams in the world that could afford to pay those wages and to get him in. But they need to look at the bigger picture. Over the last couple of years, they've said that they've changed their recruitment strategy and that they're not going to just make decisions based on what they suddenly need. January notoriously is a really difficult window for them, to any team to do any business in. They are looking for a striker. They contemplated getting a striker in last summer, so that hasn't changed, regardless of the situation with Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's potential that he's on a list as much as anyone else is because of his world-class talent. But I would be surprised if they went and got him in the January transfer window, because you've also got to look at Ronaldo as well. He's started 4 games in the Premier League this season. He scored 1 goal. They're not relying on him up front. They've got other options. Would it be a disaster if he left and they didn't replace him in January? Personally, I don't think so.
Mbappe, I know that you would love to see Mbappe in the Premier League, probably not at Manchester United, but even so, would they have to offload Ronaldo first, realistically, to make this move possible?
I think from a financial standpoint, definitely. I think with Mbappe's wages coming in as high as they will, I don't think you can have Ronaldo and Mbappe at a club, along with the other players United have that they are desperate to offload, who are on humongous wages. From a footballing standpoint, I agree with Charlotte. I think the fact that Cristiano has only actually started 4 games probably suggests that they don't actually need to replace Ronaldo. They don't need a like for like. Although I think United and Erik ten Hag will be looking at the Premier League table and saying we can probably finish higher than 4th, maybe squeeze into 3rd because of the way the other teams are performing. And if they want to achieve that, then they probably do need to buy a striker. But I don't think they'll go for a £150 million signing in January.
OK, in that case then, Charlotte, does that make Napoli's Victor Osimhen, who is apparently also on United's radar, a more realistic option?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the way that Manchester United have spent money over the last few transfer windows, for them to go and blow £150 million on one player goes against a lot of the work they've been doing in the past. And like you say, he is a more realistic option. He is someone I've heard they are interested in. I think they were looking at him in the summer. Whether they firm that interest up in January, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of how they like to do their business in January, it'd be if it's a long-term target who suddenly becomes available. We've seen them before panic in the January transfer window. If you remember, they brought in Odi and Ighalo last minute. I think they're trying to move away from that structure of the way they did transfers in the past. So I think if someone on the list like him becomes available and they can get him for a reasonable price, then that's definitely a more realistic option than spending £150 million on a player who is potentially also going to blow the wage budget as well.